All right, Livy, you want to get us kicked off here as we wait for some more folks to trickle in?
Yes. Thank you all for attending the Cannabis Resource Optimization Program informational webinar. Today, we're going to discuss the past, present, and future of the program, specifically discussing the technical assistance offering that we offer here at the Colorado Energy Office. I will introduce myself. My name is Libby Lee. I'm a program manager here at the Colorado Energy Office for the crop program. And then Jake.
I'm Jake Mitchell. I'm a senior program manager at Resource Innovations, and we're the ones doing the technical assessments and reports for cultivators.
Awesome. Thank you, Jake. Yes, so what is the crop program? What do we do here for the cannabis industry? So we are offering free technical resource assessments to cannabis cultivators located outside Xcel Energy, PRPA, and Black Hills Energy. We are within these technical resource assessments, we are identifying energy and water efficiency opportunities, feasibility analysis, help you with benchmarking for your utility usage, as well as identifying any cannabis specific analysis. And then additionally, we are offering follow-up support. So not only are we going to provide you with a really awesome personalized report specifically to your facility, but we are also here for follow-up support. Maybe there's some rebates in your areas or other opportunities for savings that you may not have identified through your report. So we are always here for follow-up support, not just when the ending of receiving that report. Next slide. So how did we get to the creation of the crop program? So in 2018, the Colorado Energy Office started publishing a energy use in Colorado cannabis industry report. This report kind of identified opportunities or where there were gaps that needed to kind of assist the industry, what the energy usage is, and how to kind of progress the industry towards being more sustainable. And so in 2020, they launched the Rural Cannabis Cultivators Energy Management Pilot Program. So this was kind of the stepping stone to getting the crop program off the ground. This was a rural cannabis cultivators program, pilot program, where we focused on providing technical assistance, identifying energy efficiency opportunities, and then identifying any rebates or financing opportunities as well. Then through the 2022, through the Air Quality Improvements Bill, SB 22193, this gives the Energy Office funding to create and stand up the Cannabis Resource Optimization Program to provide resources to these rural cultivators located in these areas that don't have access to these resources through their utility provider. Additionally, in 2022, we selected Resource Innovations to help us implement this program. February of 2023, we launched the program and we began accepting applications. And then in 2024, last year, we removed the utility bill requirement. And then additionally, we began enrolling marijuana-infused product manufacturers located in these rural areas as well. So what's new about the program this year? So like I said, we have started enrolling manufacturing infused product facilities. So those MIPS located in those rural areas, we dropped that utility minimum because we know a lot of smaller cultivators are located in those rural areas as well. And then we also expanded methodologies and recommendations.
Perfect. Thanks for all that, Libby. Now we're going to go into kind of the achievements of the program since it's been kicked off. We've been able to achieve $2.5 million in utility bill savings identified across all cultivations, an average of 80,000 per report and a median of around 40,000 per report. So every single report that we develop for a cultivator, we're finding, tens of thousands in annual bill savings for them that can really help, especially with the state that the industry is currently in. We've assessed 31 cultivations in that time, identified 1.1 million gallons of water savings, 18.8 million kilowatt hours in electricity savings, and have come up with 164 energy and water saving opportunities for cultivators. In terms of actual projects that we've helped implement at these facilities, we've hit about 12 million kilowatt hours in savings, 1.4 million in utility bill savings, and about 979,000 in rebates. So just shy of $1 million in rebates for the cultivators that are part of the program. Some project examples for projects that we've done for different cultivators and MIPS. One cultivator we worked with did new extraction equipment. Their bulk solvent recovery, dewax, color remediation, extraction, and distillation. This new equipment was able to save over 6 million in kilowatt hours in the first phase and just shy of 2 million in the second phase. And over $1 million in utility bill savings year to year. So pretty interesting stuff for MIPS. There's a lot of new technology coming out for extraction that's a lot more efficient than it used to be. So we're very excited to be enrolling MIPS into the program now. Probably one most people are familiar with, LED retrofits and dimming. This was a cultivation out in Rye, Colorado that was able to see almost 80,000 kilowatt hours in direct light savings, 23,000 in HVAC savings, and then 132,000 in dimming savings, which resulted in around 30,000 a year in utility bill savings. So this person was going from old HIDs to new LEDs and was able to dim these systems because of how efficient their output is. And then finally, another example of drip irrigation in a veg for a cultivator out in Cortez. They did about 95,000 of gallons in water savings annually from this project, only resulting in around 500 savings on their water utility bill, but water's pretty cheap here in Colorado. But there were some additional electric savings from this project as well because of the way it interacted with their dehumidification systems. So if your cultivation was to enroll, what you can kind of expect is a informational call with your advisor, which is me in most cases. We'll schedule your free on-site assessment, and that's definitely something we want to highlight here, that this is a free assessment. Your advisor will spend about 2 to 4 hours with you walking the facility, cataloging all your water and energy equipment, and then we'll also be analyzing your capacity for renewables while we're there, putting in solar or other options as well. Your advisor will ask questions about your electric usage, water usage, processes, methodology, operating procedures. We'll sit down and go over potential project and operational opportunities, and then we'll build out your report in the next few weeks after the assessment. The report contains a bunch of really good information, opportunities for reducing your energy and your water usage, paybacks if those have any kind of capital investment tied to them, and then your total savings and bill savings overall. We also go into like really specific kind of cultivation focused metrics. So things like lighting, we're going to be doing like a lighting spectral analysis. We're going to look at your water usage, your energy usage. We're going to look at your bill. So we're going to do like an in-depth bill analysis, benchmarking, KPIs, and then an energy use breakdown by equipment type. So you can see what kind of energy is going to lighting, what's going to, HVAC or other systems that may be in your cultivation as well. A big piece of what we do on these reports and how we tailor it specifically to the cannabis industry is doing this PPFD mapping while we're on site. So we go around the cultivation, we take a bunch of measurements at different sites under the lights to understand, what your kind of PPFD is across the whole facility in different rooms, and understand what that spectrum is too. So we give a spectral analysis like you can see here on the report, and go over some key cultivation lighting terms to kind of figure out, is your cultivation optimized right now in terms of lighting? So again, to stress the point, this isn't necessarily just an energy efficiency assessment. This is also a cultivation assessment. We also, a big piece of what we're doing on these reports is schedule optimization. So we're looking at how to optimize your schedule. A lot of folks are heavily billed based on their demand usage, or their demand, not necessarily their usage. And so we look at kind of how those charges affect your bill month to month and figure out an optimum schedule for your rooms to reduce that bill charge as much as possible. And in most cases, these demand kind of scheduling optimizations really reduce the utility bill without really costing any upfront at all. And then, as Libby said, we provide ongoing follow-up support. Right, so we help folks analyze projects that they're considering doing. So if someone is like, "Hey, I'm thinking of getting this air conditioning unit what do you expect my electricity to look like moving forward with this new system? And we analyze that for them as part of this ongoing support piece. So we have funding, to ensure that that support moves forward with anyone that enrolls in the program, and gets that assistance as we go along. We help with rebate assistance and facilitation. So anyone in a utility territory that has rebates available, specifically tri-state utilities, which have really good rebates for cultivations right now. We'll help you work through that entire process. We'll do the calculations, help you fill out the paperwork, and make sure that you're getting the highest rebate possible in whatever territory you're in. We'll also estimate incentives and financing assistance as a piece of that feasibility portion we do. So when you have a new piece of equipment you're considering, we'll look at what incentives are available, what financing is available, and then give you a better estimate on your cost, like all-in cost and your payback using those numbers. We'll assist with benchmarking and energy tracking. So we obviously recommend to everybody that they track their energy and track their costs so they understand, how much it actually costs to produce the product that they're producing. And if the grow would like to benchmark, or if there are potentially other kind of benchmarking, mandates coming down the line in the future, we'll be there to help with that and make sure that folks really understand what their energy usage is moving forward and how it's changing seasonally and year to year as different energy efficiency projects are implemented. And then we provide support for renewable energy projects. So everyone that enrolls in the program gets a renewable energy assessment where we look at their capacity for installing renewables, estimated costs, estimated production, and really kind of figure out if there is any, feasible implementation possibilities for some renewable energy at these grow sites. And if folks decide to move forward with those projects, we can help every step of the way as well. We also provide water and energy reduction strategies. We kind of just act as like an advisor to these cultivations after the fact. So, I'm getting calls every week from folks that were in the program to help them with different projects, or if something goes wrong with one of their systems, we're really here to help these cultivations for the long run to make sure that this kind of energy and efficiency, implementation isn't just a report that we hand over. We're here for every step of the process as well. And then we also provide CEA, controlled environmental ag specialized vendor facilitation. So we have a really big network of vendors from working in the cannabis industry for a long time that sell all sorts of energy efficient equipment. And we help folks kind of navigate that bidding process. It can be really tricky when you have 5 different bids from 5 different companies at different prices with different equipment. So we help folks kind of analyze those bids, work through them, and figure out what the best option for them really is. So what are the actual benefits to cultivators in this program? From what we've seen in the last few years, the biggest ones that folks seem to be excited about is uncovering and procuring cash incentives for new or updated equipment. Obviously that's a big one, taking off some of that capital expenditure burden. We optimize facility operations through no cost and low cost measures. This has been another huge ones for struggling cultivations. We've been able to reduce people's bills significantly through measures that don't impact the cultivation, but kind of just shift things around in order to get that utility bill lowered a little bit. And that's been a huge ones for folks that don't necessarily have the money right now for a capital expenditure, but are still interested in reducing their operating costs. We help folks develop an internal energy management team and process to review energy efficiency projects. So as opposed to just buying new equipment when things go down, we really educate and help folks on how to look at their entire system holistically, and how each piece of equipment is impacting each other, and figure out, how a new piece of equipment might help reduce that energy impact, or if they're in need of an upgrade, how to assess to get the right piece of equipment. We ensure that everyone's energy costs are on the way down while your grow maintains optimum output. Since our team is full of cannabis and energy experts, we ensure that no recommendation we're making is going to impact the quality or the quantity of the product that the cultivation's producing. That's obviously like first priority above all else, is making sure that that product, regardless of our recommendations, is still going to be able to be grown in the same way that the cultivator expects. And then finally, not only are these reports a good breakdown of the energy usage and what you could do to reduce it, it's also helping prioritize helping prioritize projects for cultivators. So these reports really help determine the best path towards energy efficiency, again, without compromising kind of that bottom line and the quality of that product produced. That's a really key piece here is energy efficiency isn't just about what you can do, it's about what you should undertake first and how you should do it. And so that's a really key piece here that we're helping folks with. And so finally, how to enroll in the program. It's really easy. You just go to the website for the crop program, or you can just email me directly. And I can drop my email into the chat. If anyone knows of any cultivations that would be interested in the program, we still do have some slots for this year and would be happy to enroll anyone. So they can either email me and I'll send over the application, or you can go onto the crop website, find the application there and send it to this email at the bottom of that submit button there. And then that's all we got for you folks today. Are there any questions that anyone has?
While we wait for some questions maybe to roll in, but I want to say thank you all for attending. And also, if you may not be eligible for this program, please pass this along to whomever you may think may be eligible for this program. Like Jake said, we have some spots available for this year, and we'd really love to fill this up with cultivators and MIPS that would love to take advantage of this opportunity. So please pass along this information as well, and that would be amazing.
And you can also scan this QR code right here, which will take you straight to the crop page. And Amy, we'll make the slide deck available. I'll send it out to the attendees after this meeting. I'll just send a big email out to everybody. Carly, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, Jake, additionally, we will be putting this webinar online. We will send that out to you all as well when that is published onto our CEO YouTube.
Yeah, and then Carly, we are also working with MIPS as well. We can work with any MIPS as long as they're outside the Excel, Black Hills, or PRPA territories. Those are the only territories that we don't work within. All right. Well, we'll stay on for a few seconds here. If anyone else has a question and wants to stay on, if not, feel free to hop off. And thanks everyone for attending.
Yes, thank you so much.